Hurricane Beryl strengthening overnight into a Category 5 storm.
All right, I want to get to this. This is not a normal situation.
Hurricane Beryl has now made landfall on one of the islands of Grenada.
And we're roughly here. We're below Dominica and we're above Barbados.
It's awful because that's where the majority of the cruisers go down, they go south.
And now winds right now 160 kilometers an hour. It is going to continue to strengthen.
And look at the size of this thing, the earliest we have ever had a storm this strong.
Just praying that it goes between the islands.
Steve, Gus and I returned to the UK to help with some sad and complicated family matters. However, 10 months on and hurricane season has started in the Caribbean and we're feeling the pressure to return to Cordelia, our home.
Hurricane Beryl strengthening overnight into a Category 5 storm earlier than any hurricane on record.
The storm making landfall on an island off the coast of Grenada.
The main issue that we've got is that we're in hurricane season. Hurricane season starts June 1st and goes all the way through to...
End of November, beginning of November, I think.
And what they predicted is it's going to be a higher than average hurricane season. When we left the boat in a bit of a hurry. We had a couple of weeks to sort out where we were going to leave the boat, try and get guardianage, so somebody to actually watch over the boat, and try and get a flight out with Gus. If you have a look at the episode that I put up here, you'll see we went through a bit of a nightmare trying to get somewhere down in Grenada, and we really could have done with being a lot further south, couldn't we? So we ended up leaving it in Martinique. Now she's perfectly safe in Martinique during sailing season, but come hurricane season, slightly different. It's Thursday, the 27th of June, and we've just woken up. Mr. Weatherman has predicted a system coming in across the Atlantic.
And now winds right now 160 kilometers an hour or 100 miles per hour.
And we're roughly here, so we're below Dominica and we're above Barbados.
Well, actually, we're just above the green dot. That's our home. And this is just the beginning. Obviously, we've got guardianage on the boat. So somebody's going to check it. They're going to check it. Oh, at the moment, they're checking it a couple of times a month. And they're taking photographs and they're sending them to us. And they do have authority from us to move it. If it gets really bad, they'll move it into the mangroves. But that doesn't mean to say that it won't get damaged. So we just got to keep our fingers crossed. At the time, we thought that she would be okay because Martinique, it's been years since Martinique was hit. And I don't think it's going to be a full hurricane. It'll just end up being a tropical storm, but it's still scary, really scary. Anyway, we'll keep you updated.
24 hours later and our fears are being realised. The tropical storm is now a Cat 4 hurricane.
Some of us are going to do better than expected. Some of us, though, worse. And the worst end of this is going to be St. Vincent, the Grenadines, and Grenada.
Category 5 storm at this time. Look at the size of this thing. The earliest we have ever had a storm this strong this early in the season.
Hurricane Beryl directly hit the Grenadian islands of Carriacou, Petite Martinique and the Grenadine Islands at 9 a.m. on the 1st of July. It stripped the land of all vegetation, completely flattened 98% of the buildings, leaving thousands homeless. It also had a devastating effect on many cruisers who had left their boats in what is considered a safe, almost hurricane-free area of the Caribbean. Whilst Cordelia was not damaged by Hurricane Beryl, she is not as far south in the Caribbean as we'd like. I know, some of you are going to say, but Beryl was south of Martinique, and you're right. But at the moment, it is going to take 2 to 3 weeks to get her ready to move. But at least being with her, we can move her, either north or south if needed, if another hurricane comes through. We've taken the very difficult decision to return to Cordelia. The family issues aren't resolved, but we never came here thinking we were going to solve them. However, with our support, the situations are a lot better. Cordelia is our home, and though we both feel guilty that the family reasons we came back to the UK still continue, life goes on and either one of us could return if necessary.
So if we're looking to get going sooner rather than later, we need to put a list together. You know how I like a list.
Yeah, I'm not having a list of a list, Steve.
No, it's an important list of things I don't want to miss off.
Right, so
So things like kind of flight tickets. Included in the flight tickets, also Gus tickets, because that's going to be a pain in the ass. Alternator.
Yeah.
Sell the car.
Rebuild kits for the Seacocks. Could you write down check Steve's lists? Of which there are many.
The list of lists of lists. Oh, was that your stomach?
I've skipped about 7 meals.
You haven't skipped 7 meals. No, you haven't.
It doesn't show, but inside I'm absolutely...
He has not skipped 7 meals. We've just come back from Canada and he might have skipped a meal.
It feels like I haven't eaten for like several days.
So that's the to-do list. Got plenty of room at the bottom for all the things that we've forgotten. And then this plain piece of paper is everything else that we've got to do. Because I know that that's going to be full. Absolutely, definitely. So, what's happened? Isn't always the way. But Steve was offered the manager's job. He was asked to apply for it and at the boatyard, and it's the one job that he would have loved a few years ago, and if we'd been staying longer term, he would have bitten their hand off, because he really loves the job, and it doesn't fit our lifestyle anymore. We've had a wonderful 5 years and we want to continue that. We've come back to help with family, and it's just to get a job, just to buy a dinghy and buy a chain, and we've bought the dinghy and we've bought the chain. And he also launched Shamrock 5. I'll let him talk to you later on and see what he says about it all.
Whilst I've been back, I went back to my old job, very involved in my old job, loved my old job. So much so that they wanted me to be the manager. 2 days ago, I had to withdraw my application, manage my application. I want to go back to the boat, we want to go back to the boat. I'm going to do all I can for the remaining time, because that's what I do, off to Cordelia.
So what date are we going to look at?
What, of me finishing or us booking a flight?
Let's work backwards a bit.
If I resign on the 30th, 31st of July,
Yeah.
we're looking at Friday the 13th.
What we can't do is leave it too long, Steve, to book it because of him. Because when I book it, I have to book Gus on as well. Good boy, you're part of the conversation now, aren't you? Are you part of the conversation? So it's all to do with you as well now.
Yeah, got to get you home. So I've got to try and find a way of getting out of Charles de Gaulle Airport for Gus to have a comfort break.
Yep.
So we don't go through the rigmarole of them telling me to take him into the gents.
No. I have looked at a hire car, and we could probably get one for about €60. So it might be worth...
I think we do that, because then we're independent.
Yeah. That's on Tuesday the 10th. If I go to Friday the 13th, it's not that much more expensive. There.
Is that for both of us?
That's for both of us, yeah.
And
but
no, 2 of us, plus we've got to pay for the dog.
Yeah, we've got to sort out the dog. This one here, we would arrive at 5 to 6.
Yeah, that's much better.
We just need to bear in mind all of these things. Travelling with the dog does mean that we've got to be aware of the transfer times between airports, and that's 2 connections. I don't want that. And I think those are the ones that we need to go for, so we need to...
Well, because we've got to get out of the airport, so if you said 7 o'clock, then it's an hour to Le Marin.
And I need to email Aurora to see if there's any problem with her picking us up.
For once, it's very warm.
It is, it's beautiful.
Just as it started to warm up, for one day, we're off.
Well, it's going to be a month or so yet, but we have made plans now. Made a decision that we're going to go back on the 12th of September. It feels a bit strange. Exciting, but it does feel a bit strange, yeah?
No, it's good. It's good. Loads of work to do.
Yeah, a ton of work to do, but we'll do it. Yeah, I think we've done what we can. When it starts to get dark and get cold again, we'll be gone.
Yeah, back to the warmth. Get back to some sailing.
Ciao for now, guys.
Bye.